GM, everyone. How's everyone doing, Gotcha Gang? Hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. We got a lot of stuff to cover on the call today, actually.
Good morning. Good morning. There's so much going on in such a short time.
Yeah. How you doing?
Oh, all of a sudden I live in an art studio now. That's new. So
It's crazy. Like there's 100 auctions going on right now. Fake gotchis they're on fire.
yeah, that seems low to me as this starts to snowball. I think it'll eventually be pretty constant.
There was some big, I think somebody said it in the chat, and I tend to agree. OpenSea, we ship that so you can discover fake gotchis on OpenSea now, and I think that's the key point. Is it's for discoverability. Everybody should know that the royalties they're not supported on OpenSea. So I hope people just become more aware of fake gotchis through that, and then are like, okay, wait a minute, where are these crazy auctions at? And then they make their way over to, do the thing, and we get more people coming in to realize that they can be early on this, and it's the most vibrant art collection on Polygon and maybe in crypto right now. Like crypto's in a bear, and we're just like cruising along, getting super creative, having fun, making awesome shit. It's really great.
Now, are those able to be promoted on OpenSea? Because isn't OpenSea kind of set up unless you have like an insane amount of volume or something like that, they won't really be advertised?
Yeah, they're not going to verify it or show it on the front screen or anything. But it's the presentation is it's nice. So or you guys try to send your pieces to people to show them on OpenSea. But yeah, I do anticipate the majority of the volume and the trading is still going to be in the bazaar where it should be, because that's where the royalties are being handled properly.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to transfer stuff there. I could see people like, depending on the right publisher and artist's distribution strategy, like you got 100 pieces to work with. Maybe certain people consider giving away a certain amount to influencers or collectors, people that are like big time Ethereum layer 1 collectors. Be like, yo, I just checked your wallet, and it'll pop up when they go to their OpenSea to view their wallet. Now it'll be there. Whereas before, they weren't even going to see it. So now they could be like, oh, check my profile. I see some fake gotchis there. I want to know more about it. I think that's the big difference. Is if we want to use it, it's another tool.
Yeah, I have a fake gotchi card set aside for people when he's ready to work.
People being he's a laggard. He's not an early adopter this time, huh?
They'll all come eventually, I think.
All right, heading over to John Gotchi's parcel here.
Did everybody see, or maybe somebody can drop a link to it. There was some group that did like some on-chain analytics of Aavegotchi. They did like a thread, and just yesterday or the day before, and it was really interesting. I mean, it was hit and miss. Like they're definitely just looking at the on-chain data. They didn't reach out to us to confirm anything, and they got some things way wrong. Like they concluded by looking at the floor of Aavegotchi and saying it was like $11. And we're like, well, maybe a common wearable, not an Aavegotchi. They're like, oh, floor's low. This is a good chance to get in. But I think it was the fifth or sixth piece in the thread that was really good, and it showed what an impact fake gotchis has had early on here relative to the rest of the market. And I think it said like the bazaar, they're looking at the bazaar contracts, jumped from a respectable 20-25% of all of Polygon market volume for NFT marketplaces. And I think this week we took like 80% of Polygon's marketplace volume. That's significant. I was like, holy shit. That either says Polygon doesn't have a lot of market activity, or we're really, no matter what, we're like we're like the game in town right now. So it's pretty awesome, all the activity that's happening.
Yeah, that doesn't even include the GBM stuff.
You know what? That's exactly what I replied to them too. I was like, by the way, guys, you're missing like half the volume.
Yeah, half the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Thrax dropped it here. I never heard of them. I can't pronounce that. Joshi.
Looks like it was they were learning how to use Covalent, and this was like a project that they did or something. That's what it sounded like. Kind of experimenting with the tools. Pretty powerful stuff.
I see Dr. Wagner here. I can't stay long, but want to start building hype for a special event on New Year's Eve. Some special FGCs hitting the queue. What? All right, more fakes.
Yeah, I know some people were skeptical about the fake gotchis, but I think we're starting to see they're going to really bring in a new type of audience to the protocol, to the game, to the community, and it's more the traditional NFT crowd. There's something for them to get their teeth into.
I mean, I'm viewing it as like a whole brand new economy. So I have that parcel for sale piece. I'm just gonna roll all that. Yeah, I'm gonna roll all the funds from that into making art and publishing fakes. And then my grand scheme is I have a real life. He paints murals at like events. So I'm gonna try to like save up as much money as possible, and then maybe at the next Gotchi live event, I can have him come out and paint like a full-size mural while we're doing an event, and that would get a lot of eyeballs.
That would be sick. Yeah, we need more in real life. Here in Singapore, when we actually debuted fake gotchis at the what was it? It's a long ass name, Kawa Crypto Art Week Asia. It was like adjacent to Token 2049 and all that. And Mavis and I went out there and checked it out, and there was some pre-fake gotchi art on display there. And when just before we left, we couldn't stay. We had another thing to go to, but they were about to start this like a rap battle, but it wasn't. I don't know what they called it. It was like an art battle, and they had two like I guess famous muralists, and they each had their own giant mega canvas inside like a dance hall. So the DJ's DJing, everybody's partying and having drinks, and these two guys are gonna like each like create some prompt they're gonna create for like an hour while the DJ's going, and it sounded really cool. I was like, I want to stay and check this out, but unfortunately, we did not meet it. We were not able to, but yeah, I'd love to do some more stuff like that, like art mixed with activity.
Yeah, that's literally that's what he does. He does it for lately. He's been doing a lot of disc golf tournaments. I don't know if anyone plays disc golf.
You serious? Oh my god!
Yeah, yeah. So like he'll go to like a disc golf tournament with him and his crew. They'll do a huge mural, and then they take that art and make a disc out of it that people can buy. And he's been crushing it.
Whoa! Yeah, that's crazy. I would never expect you to say disc golf.
Yeah, I don't really play it, but yeah, that's his big thing now. And so, like, yeah, we could do that. Like, they could paint a mural at an event, and then we could mint it as a fake. And so anybody at that event would have a chance to, commemorate it.
Super cool. I didn't realize Chonya's out in Colorado. Dang, man.
Yeah, disc golf is blowing up. I've been hearing a lot about it.
I had no idea. I honestly, I played in college, so like I guess I was an early adopter. Like I haven't played in a while. I did disc golf, and I'm actually a huge sucker for like shuffleboard. If anybody rocks shuffleboard, let me know. It's more of a Florida or cruise ship retiree thing, but last I checked, but it's pretty fun.
Sounds low injury, low impact. Kind of like me in yoga.
Yeah, very low impact. Until I put you in the kitchen. If anybody knows that, Lost Local might know the reference.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Hey, there you go.
Hey,
There we go. Yeah, I've been like trying to talk and like my Discord was all screwy. I just want to say, White Ranger, I really, really, really like that for sale piece. I think it's one of the most like unique fake gotcha pieces so far, and I can't wait to see more people bring pieces that have like just unseen utility because it's like just very innovative.
Yeah, I'm working on the next iteration of it. It's gonna be for me, I feel like it has to be a one of one. But I'm putting so much time into it. Like I'm like right now I'm drawing like a moving truck, and then there's gonna be like gotchis unloading boxes, and then like on the boxes I was gonna like put shout outs to different people like Jesse's wearables and different things like that, like written on the box, and I don't know, it's a lot.
Yeah, and I saw you're working on the sold piece, and I guess I saw you also mention you're like, well, the for sale is actually it's quite useful, right? Like once you sell
Yeah, it has the function. Yeah, if you got a whale neighbor, because you can connect the parcels. So if you log in and see your neighbors building like crazy, you can be like, oh, I'm gonna put this sign up so they can see it, letting them know that they can buy this parcel right next to theirs. So yeah,
That goes perfect with NFT display because you could have the parcel displayed in the NFT display, and right next to it have the NFT display with the sign. And they could literally you just need two NFT displays next to each other.
Oh, I hadn't even put two and two together. Yeah, you nailed it. Okay, yeah, because I was like, damn, how are we gonna link to the sale? But yeah, you just put it up. That's awesome. Yeah, that'll work.
mind blown. The extra step. Goodness gracious, that's pretty cool.
Hey, what up, everybody?
Hey, GM.
GM. Yeah, it's strange. I was having some Discord issues this morning too, but it's worked out now. So
Yeah, I had like a install, like it updated once I restarted it because it just wasn't giving me sound. And then I had to switch my system settings to get my mic back on, which was weird because it usually just default works.
yeah, I was having something similar actually. How have y'all been doing? How was the week? Trying to think back on big events we had this week.
Nothing big happened. Ghost got listed on Coinbase. GBM auctions, fake gotchis on OpenSea. Just normal week.
Hey man, Ghost on Coinbase is a big deal. I hope we benefit from the Coinbase effect.
I mean, people are gonna fall down a rabbit hole for real if they're just like, oh, what's this?
It's cool. My parents have a Coinbase account. I can finally shill Ghost to them without having them to get their own wallet set up.
Yeah, I'm waiting for all my friends and family because they know about Aavegotchi because of how much I speak about it. So they've known about Ghost. I'm waiting for them to finally hit me up and be like, oh crap, this is on Coinbase now. Because for them, that'll make it like real. Because before it's just like, this is a game, they want to see it. But now it's on Coinbase. That's a big move.
Can you share any insight on the listing process? Did we approach them and this is totally our push and effort, or did they approach us? What was the shared responsibility and interest?
I don't know, maybe Golden Quest. I think you guys handled most of it. I think how did that come about? I think it was mutual introduction from someone. Well, like it was a long time ago.
I will say it was a process. It was the longest listing courtship I think we've ever had, where we really wanted it, and it took time. Yeah, there was an introduction like months and months and months ago. And then so we had this, it basically, as everything in crypto starts with a Discord or a Telegram group chat, and just worked it out from there. So it took time. A lot of credit to Moon. It was basically me and Moon, doing the point of contact with them and answering questions. They had a lot of questions about the curve. They're looking at the contracts. They really do their due diligence. Credit to those guys. Like they really looked at the nitty gritty and would come back with questions that, like, I was like, shoot, I have to go look that up, sir. I don't know.
A lot of questions about the curve.
Yeah,
For sure.
a lot. And yeah, it all worked out. Just had to answer them. So
Very cool stuff and well done. This definitely a substantial nod. I was going through a photo album last night from Art Basel at the Scope event, the programming from the Polygon Magic Eden event, the Automatic Magic. And I was actually going through there to pull some Nori content. And lo and behold, I found somebody sitting on a panel that had their cute Aavegotchi ball cap on, and I wasn't anticipating that. And it was really cool to organically see Aavegotchi repping out in the wild. I had some really cool fake Gotchi art being displayed on the wall at that event as well. It's just really neat to see Aavegotchi from the outside when you didn't expect to see it, and just to catch it on an organic viewing. We look super, super cool right now.
yeah, that's Lost Local you saw, and yeah, we probably got some screenshots or something from that we could drop. Heck, I bet Futuristic's got a whole video.
I have video. I actually played it on one of my streams of him during the presentation, and then him just talking. He did his own presentation, a panel, and then we did some interviews near our fake Gotchi art. Also, shout out because that was my hat. We didn't have the fake Gotchi shirts didn't get there in time, and I had been rocking that hat since New York. So I was like, you should probably wear this when you go on stage, so we have something. So I'm good. I'm happy that was people saw it.
Oh, it was beautiful, man. That was the dead giveaway. It's what caught my interest. So good. You have a good eye for the camera.
So, does anyone have any bounce gates they wanna? I've been to 2 so far. Chilling. Anyone do anything cool on a bounce gate this evening or this morning?
I'm setting up one for GMI. We'll do a little wrap up near the end of our hangout, maybe the last 20 minutes or something. But let's see. Is anybody setting up a bounce gate or has a event that we could hit up right now? That'd be cool. I'm just picking up some Alchemica on my own parcel right now, but I will be happy to join.
No Future, how's your gallery coming? I see you got the bounce gate set up. Are these parcels all yours, like the ones adjacent in this area? There's 2 of them, right? Are those both yours?
We're talking about my one in D27, right?
Let's see. I don't know what district it's in. It's got like the how to explain. It's right above the Pixelcraft P.
Oh yeah, so that parcel's mine. To the left is actually Tommy Gotchi's parcel. So he's been building up a gallery too. Yeah, I just went over to mine down. Yeah, so I have to keep up with this gallery. I've fallen way behind because now I have over 50 fake Gotchis and I only have 10 slots for art on this parcel. So I've outgrown this parcel. I got to move up to a spacious in D1. I just don't want to leave D27 yet because it's like in D27 the largest parcels are reasonable. So this is the largest I'm going to get unless I'm get an estate. I actually have another parcel that's on the other side of these P's. Like they could go in a circle, so you have to walk around. So yeah, I have 10 open slots on my parcel, but 50 pieces of art. So I have to do some work figuring out how to rotate them so that everything gets seen.
That's awesome, man. How many NFT displays do you have?
On this one parcel, I have 10 mixed between a few other parcels. I might have another 4 or 5. So I have to I'm planning on making one big move to my District 1 inner wall spacious where I have a D8 farming setup. So the idea will be to make, cover that whole thing in new displays so I can try to get as many pieces up as possible. Actually, we were talking about it. I would love to get feedback from you guys. Yesterday during D420, me and Hefe were talking about, how we would love to see larger horizontal and vertical displays, similar to the square larger one. Do you think that might be a possibility in the future?
Yeah, we did talk about those initially. We just didn't put them out, but I definitely think we could do bigger ones. Like, why not, right? Why not have a whole dance floor? So I think the other ones, they would need to be 8 by 12 and 12 by 8. They would fit on a reasonable parcel.
I'd also wondered about the possibility of an installation that could cycle through multiple fakes.
Right.
Kind of like those picture frames you can buy for people.
Yeah, that's
It's
cool, like a carousel.
Yeah, that's the word.
Would people not like? Would people not be happy if that kind of came out? Because it would kind of undermine the current NFT displays.
I think people would just buy way less NFT displays.
Yeah,
I think that's what would happen.
You could
It's a
also
cool idea, though.
You can make it upgradable or make it like limited edition, like another golden one, but this one can hold 3 pieces and they just cost 3x.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, to making it limited probably would be a good way to go.
Yeah, and just multiply the price by how many it can hold. That would keep the cost the same.
Yeah, Troy is saying it could be upgradable for current NFT displays. So maybe like a level 2 NFT display can flash through like 2 NFTs. You can go all the way up to 9 or whatever. Maybe level 9s can hold like 9 NFTs. Could be a way to upgrade it.
Well, we got a lot of space, guys. Do we really need the carousels? It's my thought.
Yeah, a ton of space.
I love that somebody has a bounce gate open right now saying "Buy my fake for sale, $4.99 CAC." Like whoever, I guess that's the artist who created that fake gotchi. That's kind of brilliant.
That's the way to do it, right? That's the hustle.
Also, you have new deals physical pieces up for GBM. Did that finish yet? Because I know it had reached like 1,000 ghost price last I checked.
Let's see. Wow, 105 auctions currently happening. That's crazy. And the deal's got 1 day left and 39 minutes.
I did have a request from somebody that asked if it's possible to remove the ability to flag from people that rent gotchis and don't own them. Because apparently you can rent a gotchi and then go flag a bunch of stuff.
Oh, interesting. Does that become an issue?
Somebody got their art flagged and was not happy about it. I flagged it myself just because it seemed low effort to me. But I'm also kind of in the headspace of keeping the bar for entry very high as to not, I guess, water down the overall ecosystem with just kind of noise. And I don't know, I would kind of recommend we all kind of be gatekeepers in that regard. But having someone like just rent a bunch of gotchis and flag stuff just because they want to be a dick. If it's easy to just have to make sure they actually own the gotchi, that might get rid of a little.
Yeah,
bit
I think that's a pretty easy thing to add on the contract side. So I think that probably makes sense.
So
Doesn't
yeah,
really affect too much. Yeah, I'll add it here as a task.
And then the next thing is, so we had made it so that if your gotchi was listed, you couldn't channel. Is it possible that if that gotchi has a whitelist ID, that you could still channel with it because I have that Orium auto lister, and occasionally my scholars won't get to all the gotchis, and I usually pop in and channel with them. And they're not listed, for people to give me ghost. It's just for my scholars on the whitelist ID. So I mean, I could go either way. It's not a big deal. Just if that's another like easy contract shift, that if there's a whitelist ID that you can channel with it, because that
but I don't quite get it because they're the whitelisted gotchis. They're not listed for they're already being borrowed, right? So
no, just when the contract is up. So they're available to be borrowed, but they're not actually borrowed.
Oh, and you know who's going to be borrowing them, and they know.
Yeah, because they're on the whitelist ID. So I was saying, like, if any gotchi has a whitelist ID entered, that you could channel with it on the parcel, even if it's listed. Because I don't see any scenarios where like you can add a whitelist ID and then try to trick someone into paying for it. Like that seems like an anomaly.
I mean, you could if here. I think theoretically you probably could. Depends on how curated the whitelist is. Like if it's kind of a more some of these. Like,
oh, I see what you're saying. Like add every address that plays as your whitelist ID, and then try to swipe people that way. Shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's maximum effort.
That would be, when there's money to be made, people are going to go all out. I think that might be kind of an attack vector.
That's fine. I was going to run it by you. Because, like, I'll try to, props to Orium. I'll try to cancel that contract and then channel real quick, and they've got it relisted before I can even send the transaction through.
Yeah, that happened to me when I was testing it with them. I just like would put it up and they're like, all right, let me cancel and grab the gotcha back, and then be back up. And I'm like, this is going to be a problem, but I figured it out.
Yeah, and I set up a second wallet, and like I'm a scholar for myself, essentially, and that's a reasonable solution. Costs a little bit extra gas, but not a big deal. The problems you didn't know you had.
Just real quick back to the fake gotchis. I think we have kind of seen, in general, it seems like the art is actually getting more high effort. Like there's some pretty cool stuff coming through, with a couple exceptions, like this one here. Jesse says that low effort is selfish. I think it's selfless because they're burning their card. I mean, friend, I can't imagine who thought this would pass. Thank you for burning your card.
That's funny.
Yeah, we also it's not like we're setting people up for failure either. Like we have an entire channel dedicated to this. So if there's any apprehension on anyone's part of like, hey, what do you guys think? Like there's people 24 hours a day ready to offer support and insights.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say there's one piece that kind of caught me. Me and Hefe talked about it. It didn't make it through the queue. It's actually a photograph. So we were like discussing the merits of photography in the Gotchiverse. Where is it? It's I'm looking at it on my screen. It's the one by I believe it's pronounced Meat Cop. It's called Imbued. It's a picture of a man with like a lemniscate on his forehead, and in the background you see a Gotchi in the mirror. Yeah. So we were talking about this because it's a photograph, so I'm assuming that's why it was considered low effort. Maybe it's because people assumed that it was a maybe a stock image. But if this friend actually did all the work to set this up, it kind of tells a story here. And I was saying like when I look at this, I think if this is the moment that this person got liquidated and they're becoming their gotchi, and it's kind of art because they're sitting in a shower. There's that thing, the triangle at the top that drives me nuts that we talked about. But this got rejected pretty quickly. So do we consider this low effort because it's photography, or is it that the story isn't clear? Like, I would love to hear some opinions on that. And I just got outbid.
Nice, good, congrats. I mean, I think everyone assumed that this is probably like some stock photo that's or was like an AI thing. It does have gotchi in it, but it does hard to say. But I mean, literally no one flagged or liked it, which is interesting. So
Yeah, my girlfriend said it creeped her out. That's why she didn't like it. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like we're in that like the art community is like a pretentious kind of like, this is what we like, and if you want us to like you, make what we like kind of thing. Same with like fashion and all that stuff. So it's like, there is going to be a level of arrogance involved. Yeah, subjective, but it's like, you can ping the community and like reach out and be like, hey, do you think this will fly? It's not like we're being jerks about it. And yeah, if someone does like a maximum effort that looks minimal, like you gotta communicate. Like I would jump on a call before I published and be like, "Hey guys, here's what I'm putting out. It might look low effort, but like Drifter shoots. If Drifter shoots ever wanted to do a fake and put some gotchis on his shoes, like kind of looks minimal, but he had to climb to the top of a tower or something.
You make a good point there with the art being subjective. I've actually been a little bit cautious with approaching. There's some artists I personally really like, but if they were to make fake gotchi art, I don't know. Like honestly, I think someone would like look at it differently, not from a perspective artistically. Would just say, "Oh yeah, that's low effort." And it's like, "Oh shit, this is like actually like a really well-known artist." This is their style, but it's just so far off, I guess, from what the gotchi gang likes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had that happen with one of our members. That's kind of a high art.
It's like, oh yeah, that's low effort. That sucks. It's like, oh, this guy was like at Art Basel, right? It's like, oh, does that change your opinion, or is it that I think it's kind of cool that we're looking at this purely from an aesthetic or artistic point of view. And Coder Dan mentions a good point there with the ratio of likes to flags.
yeah,
So if you have no likes and you got like 15 flags, your art is probably very likely not to make it through. But let's say you got like 30 likes and then you have like 5 flags. I think that maybe might tip the odds in your favor, possibly.
but we also like if we see people doing like a Twitter giveaway or something in exchange for liking, like that you probably shouldn't do that. It really needs to be organic. If like, people can see that you're giving stuff away to get likes, that's not going to help your case at all.
Yeah, the gotchi fake scientists know their stuff. You can't run things past them.
One piece I think that's interesting is Gotchi Illusion by Pixel Sensei. It got 20 likes, and yet it did get flagged, but seems pretty neat. I don't know what people think about it. I was curious that got double the amount of flags in terms of likes. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, we were talking about the Gotchi Illusion by Pixel Sensei yesterday, and like at first I was like, oh yeah, I can see why people think this is low effort, and then we started looking at it, and noticing like the little things, like part of the smile is a keyboard and 2 gotchi mugs, and then there's a monitor, so it's like there's some depth. It's more than just like, upon like really looking at it, it's like, oh, this isn't really just AI art. It's actually went into like took some effort to make.
Curious.
On the other end of that,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll jump in front of you real quick here. Then I just wanted to know, like, so on Lens, we're seeing some cool metrics come out about top collectors for the day, for the week, for the month. It's starting to be easier to track the participatory metrics, and I'm wondering where is going to be the best source of data if I wanted to know who's our fake gotchi pushers.
Yeah, we're actually preparing some updates to fake gotchis that are going to have basic leaderboards. So that's definitely going to be coming very soon. Hopefully next week. Just kind of a simple leaderboard to show who the biggest collectors of uniques are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm all about it. Super excited for that, and it's a work in progress. We're designing and finalizing what leaderboards to do as we speak. And I think last week on the call here, we talked a bit about which leaderboards we might want to have. You know, collectors, most productive publishers. Anything else come to mind? Feel free to share.
By floor price, could that be a metric? Your collection value by floor price?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, most valuable.
Oh, like a collection market cap.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
How
Very
about a like a leaderboard for number of pieces actually placed in the Gotchiverse?
Because you'll be at the top of it, sir.
No, I only have 10 at this point, but I would make some effort for that. But this is what I love, because these leaderboards are not incentivized. We're not talking about giving rewards of any sort for this, and we're all on board. It's just the dopamine hit of like, hey, I have the biggest collection. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and let's not shy away from people like Soju and whatnot using these leaderboards on their own proactive merit to decide what kind of incentives to introduce after the fact.
Yeah, good point.
To be able to see these things.
Ooh, I
That
think
Bob
I
Gotchi-
what's Soju up to? Say that again. Their alpha in there.
Yeah, Soju is fantastically creative at their overall like marketing execution, and so they've had a long career of posting on Lens and lots of exciting opportunities to collect organic art from them on Lens without any kind of implied payout or expectation in the end. And then it turns out after the fact they used the Lens metrics to figure out their top collectors who pulled the most pieces down, and then issued a fake gotchi and airdropped that fake gotchi onto those Lens supporters as well.
That's pretty cool. Where you start climbing leaderboards because you want to get the artists and the publisher's attention. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that Bob Ross piece. That's all I've been hearing about. My girlfriend asks me at least once a day.
Yeah, it's a great piece. I do love it. It's so simple but beautiful, and like it's just like it's like the other piece, the Party King piece. Just like you need to have that. Like it just looks awesome.
There's also like subliminal, like ethereal connections of like us painting our own futures. And that's kind of like, like with that "This Is Fine" piece where the gotchi's in the fire, like I felt that.
Yeah, because quite frankly, that's kind of where we are in relation. This is how I see it. It's like Gotchi Gang, and then there's like the rest of crypto is on fire, and we're out here doing cool stuff. So, yeah, I definitely related to it to a certain extent.
Talking about Stellar Hobbs, so that was going to kind of transition me into drop schedules. I noticed from just experience with dealing with different artists and different drops, it's very sporadic and can be related to alcohol at some times. And then like on the opposite end of that spectrum, you have like Stellar Hobbs, which will, have a set release schedule and let you know when and how many. So there's like, for anyone collecting or investing in this market, like it becomes like a fun gameplay of like, all right, I'm going to buy this piece. What's, how's this artist going to release this? For my own, I'm doing I'm doing a very strict investor collector based schedule so that someone potentially, if they wanted to, could control 100% of this art piece. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, do we have any one-of-ones out in the collection yet?
Yes. I think the deals is one of them. Also,
Oh yes, the Canva, the deal on Canva. Yeah, that's the
I
first.
think we also have the 3 of 3. The Mona Lisa gotchi. I'm not sure what that one is called. The one with the crazy eyes.
I think it's just Lisa Gotchi or Gotchi Lisa. I like that a lot.
Yeah, Gotchi Lisa's good. Yeah, I think that's only 3 that will be minted.
My latest one is 5. That's the rarest one.
Thrax, did you drop something today? I know you dropped a couple of hints yesterday during some GMI stuff while you guys were playing poker. Did you actually drop a new piece?
Yeah, well, I haven't dropped it yet because it's not been animated, but the modeling is done. Yeah, I'll share it. So,
Are you having fun, my friend?
dude, so much fun, man. Like I get to just do whatever I want. Like it's always been like, this is so cool, but what if we could do this? And then there's like the whole DAO and game and stuff. Now I can do whatever I want artistically.
It's fun to watch too because like 70K in volume in like 2 months. That's the artists are winning here, and I get to see like artists like you, Bin Laden, FaZe, Soju, all these artists who are putting out multiple pieces. I'm assuming, and I don't want to make an ass of myself, that it's you guys who are running up the price on fake gachi cards because you're using them. You're going, you like go through the process. You get your art into the bazaar. You're making money off it, and you get more cards to make more money, which is driving up the price of the cards that I'm just holding. So the whole like cycle is so virtuous at this point. So it's fun to see artists really do well in this, and now like publishers as well. But the artists I think are really doing well here. So it's you don't really see that in the real world, especially in a bear market often. So it's cool.
It's very cool, man. It reminds me of just like fan fiction in general. Like, I love this thing, this project, this story, but I want to make my own stories, and I want to like this concept is based around Earth 42, 42.0, and it's basically like an alternate reality where everything is like hyper realistic, but it's still gotchi, and it's like in the world of man. So we've got like these massive black swan liquidators that literally form from bad emotions. And then you have the gotchi mechs that fight. Like if you look at this last piece, the HDRI for this piece is actually, yeah, like White Ranger noticed it. It's actually the liquidator is the HDRI. So here, I'll share a video to kind of shows the
Yeah, that friend is amazing.
While we're talking about drops here, friends, we do have a little drop that you guys might be interested in coming up very soon. Anyone can guess what it is?
Something to keep me warm during Christmas.
Yes, exactly. We do have some hand-sewn, custom knit by the Gotchi Elves sweaters that are almost ready to be sold and delivered to you guys. Jesse here is going to be dropping a couple pictures. So we got the site is ready. The sweaters are ready to be shipped out. And so mark your calendar about, what is it? It's 9 a.m. EST, whatever that is, like 22 hours or something from now. We are going to be opening up the site. We'll drop the link when it's live, and you guys will be able to come on and cop yourself Aavegotchi Holiday Sweater 2022 and Aavegotchi Holiday Socks. Very, very limited edition.
Oh, those socks look really comfy.
Now, how's the quality? I'm probably gonna be wearing this like every day. I'm just curious what the quality. Probably good
Jesse,
quality.
do you have that tweet from the distributor? He was like he when they got to his warehouse, he was freaking out about them.
I'll go find it. I'll drop it in. Yeah, he was saying they turned out really great. I mean, I have yet to hold one, but Lost Locals had samples and gone through multiple iterations, and yeah, I think everything's checking out. It's going to be high quality. That's the only way we wanted to do it.
So is it opening exactly at 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Eastern, like basically when the DAO meeting starts tomorrow?
I think. Oh, is it night? Is that the exact time for the DAO? I think it was. Jesse, are we trying to do right 1 hour before the DAO meeting or right at that time?
Great point. We could maybe and probably should move it around a bit. We can either do it before or after. Yeah.
Personally, I'm fine with right at, because before is really early for me, and I want to get one, but I'm gonna be up to like stream the DAO meeting, so right at is fine. I'll just be a minute late or two, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those are probably going to sell out in like 10 minutes. So whenever you do it, it won't be a long distraction, I don't think.
Do you have any numbers you can share with us on the number of socks / sweaters that might be available? You don't have to give an exact number, but an exact number would be cool.
No, the sweaters I know it's $350. I think we're gonna have a limit so nobody can like buy them all at once or something stupid. So, and also we want to let you guys know on this call first, so we can do a bigger, wider Discord announcement shortly before it goes live or as it goes live. But everybody here has the heads up, so we make sure you guys get at least a sweater. So the socks I got double check on. I don't know if that's $350 as well, or we got a little bit more.
I mean, if I have to get two. If I only get one, I'm in big trouble.
Is it going to be just typical payment rails for that and just whip out the card?
Yep. Yeah, this time we really, we would love to do some more innovative distribution methods, but it just ran out of time. There's just too much other stuff. But this will just be the first of many drops that will be coming out in the future, and hopefully we can do a little bit more innovation with those.
I'd like to see grand arena battles with like physical championship rings,
Yeah,
physical crowns gifted to the victors. Or sweaters, either or.
Go for the belt. You get a big WWE style Gotchi champion belt.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Hey, so I just dropped a behind the scenes thing to show the HDR if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
Sweet.
Well, what do you think, Dan? Should we do an hour just after the conclusion of the DAO meeting? Or my only concern with doing it before the DAO meeting is,
It's really early for US.
It's really early Sunday morning in the US. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, it's already 5 a.m. for me when I wake up for the DAO meetings. So
Right,
I
right.
wake up at like 4.
That was the first thing I thought. I'm like,
Maybe we
Hefe's
can just
not
do it at the
zombie.
like end of the first hour of the DAO meeting or something. Everybody take a coffee break and go order the.
Coffee break. Yeah.
Lost Local, you have any insight on that? I think we can move it around a little bit.
It's a little quiet.
Oh, I can't hear you. Can anybody else hear him?
Nope.
All right, muffled mic.
Is this better? Can y'all?
Yeah, can hear you now.
Sorry about that. I think if we launch at the beginning of the DAO meeting, the only thing to expect is it will be a little bit of a disruption. It'll take some time for people to get into their chairs, so that's just something to consider. But yeah, before the meeting is going to be pretty early for some of us. So, maybe taking a break in the middle is the way to do it.
I kind of like what Choin is saying here. I'm thinking like improv, like it's an intermission, a palate cleanser in the middle of the meeting. Sometimes these meetings can be a little tense. we take a break, step away from the DAO governance, go sweater crazy, and then come back full of joy and continue talking about how to improve our DAO.
Yeah, I think that works. Just take a break, get a cozy sweater, maybe some socks, come back clear-headed.
Yeah, and speaking to the quality of the sweaters, the knit it's actually super impressive. I think these will last quite a while as long as you're not washing them in the river or anything.
Or jumping in the mud.
Exactly.
Well, I'm ordering too.
Yeah, you can kind of tell from the photos. They do look high quality.
Yeah, knits are an interesting item to work with. So we got, I guess you could say lucky. We had a good referral on the manufacturer, but there's not a lot of time to go back and forth on knits because it's such a process.
The elves are very temperamental.
Production is a struggle. I ended up, I got that suitcase and there was some like defects in it. So I had to reach out to that company to kind of get something worked out. And they're having to build their own factory in Canada because everything they're getting from overseas is not worth anything.
Really? Oh well.
Yeah, it was a big thing. When Gotchi factories, real life.
Yeah.
The Gigafactory, the first Gotchi Gigafactory. We kind of have a factory in Syracuse. Our apparel manufacturer for our upcoming drops is like a massive full service facility. So they do almost everything in house, which is really cool. So we kind of sort of have a factory.
My end game is getting an embroidery machine and an X-Carve Pro and just minting stuff real life all day at some point.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what you can do. Like, some of the folks that were at the Miami event, at the second event we did, they were doing like live like hat patches. So you could pick from a bunch of different patches and then pick from a bunch of different hats and then put the patches wherever you wanted on the hats, and they, made it right there on the spot, which was super cool. But it's pretty awesome what you can do now with all these home machines.
Yeah, in the summer times, I usually go to a lot of festivals, and that's usually a big showcase for the cutting edge of all that stuff.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, and if you have any, obviously this goes for everyone, but if you see anything out in the wild, any designs or any processes that you'd like to see in Aavegotchi apparel, please drop me a message and send me an image, and we'll try to if there's interest, we'll try to make that happen.
Link incoming.
Awesome.
A onesie? Could I get a Gotchi onesie? A bedtime pajamas set?
Definitely can put jams on the list. The first collection that we're aiming for probably late January, early February is probably going to be some more basics. But then we'll be rolling out, more of those kind of novelty products. So pajamas are great, and those are, I think people can pretty much wear those all year round. So that's a good one.
Are you in the Hangout chat? Right. I guess I can ping you. I've been wanting to get one of these jackets with some Gotchi embroidery on it forever now. I met this guy a while back in California, and the jacket's like, I don't know where you are, where you would be, but it's gonna stop the whole room, and they're gonna look at you and be like, "Where did you get that?"
Yeah. So do you mean like the gotchi being the pattern that's on the outside, so the woven part, or actually one of
just
these
an
kits?
embroidery, having that. I mean, that would be dope. But
Right.
spinning up a loom and creating gotchi fabric is, I don't know that we're there yet.
No, definitely not. But so for stuff like that, honestly, if it's like a third party item and we would want to, maybe get some gotchi branding on there, I think the way to approach it would be like from a group buy. So if we can get enough folks in the community that are interested, and then set up a group buy, like with whoever is actually manufacturing the source garment, then we can probably justify shipping it over to our factory and getting that embroidery done at like a pretty reasonable cost. So that's just like probably, if you are seeing like third party items, that's a good way to kind of think about it.
Oh, so you can do embroidery?
Oh yeah. We've got a
Oh,
bunch
yeah,
of-
I can hit up this guy. Yeah, I know this.
yeah.
Dude.
So all right, so yeah, we can back channel and discuss that for sure. But yeah, like we have full embroidery, full sublimation, printing and all that stuff. So pretty much all the processes that you're seeing in any shops, we can do most of that.
Hell yeah, man! Where did you say that was located?
They're in Syracuse, New
Okay,
York,
very cool.
and they've been they've been in the garment, doing this for like, our direct partners for like a little over 10 years. But they are also founders of another crypto NFT project called Cryptoon Goons, which was, a project where an artist and then these clothing folks got together and they bootstrapped the apparel launch through the NFT drop. And now they are in Pacific Sunwear. So these are our direct partners for our apparel, and we're really lucky to have some folks with some insight into all that, as well as like the experience making all this stuff. So really great partners, and also a really cool project if you guys have a chance to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
They've been really good up to this point. I mean, just awesome to work with. And in Lost Local, I mean, really, we could speak really briefly to, your strategy and the strategy we agreed to. And when you came on, like, we shared the same vision in terms of, you look around the NFT space and there's a lot of PFP projects or whatever projects that are kind of doing the quick way. And by that, I mean, they're just like, oh, pick your random, I don't know, merchandise line like Champions or Under Armour, whatever it may be. I'm just picking out names here. And then they, hack together a quick deal and they just say, hey, look, we've got a fashion line now. We've done, X with Y. And in our case, it's like we want this to be done properly and something that can stand on its own. And this is just the beginning of that. We want to get something out for the holidays and get something quality. But going forward, I mean, we approach this like we approach everything else. We want to be very ambitious and something that can stand on its own. And I mean, Lost Local, I think, that's one of the main reasons we were excited to work together. It just made sense that you had that vision from the get-go. You saw the shortcomings of some of these other NFT projects.
Yeah, and I think, Aavegotchi is such a great project to be doing this with, because where all these other endeavors fall short is like they don't own their brand. And being truly I think over to our
I thought that was me. That hits Wi-Fi.
No.
Yeah, he turned into a transformer.
He got liquidated. He's pulling it down. It's that
I
mountain
love
lion.
this guy, though. I love this guy. You can just tell he just sounds professional, man.
No, he's on point, and it's exactly, Lost Local knows exactly what we're looking for, and it's great because he knows that business.
Well, with those bigger brands, you get no flexibility. Like if you end up with some QA errors, like there's like, all right, good luck.
Yeah, and where he was going with that is you see these brands and they do this collaboration. They get to do a tweet that does numbers, but they don't own the brand. It's just like they did a quick little licensing agreement, and it doesn't mean anything long term. So we're trying to make sure that this is another pillar in the Aavegotchi protocol, the ecosystem that can completely stand on its own, and it doesn't owe anybody anything.
Well, I mean, with the fake, all that fake art coming through, we have infinite resources for merch. I saw, that This Is Fine shirt, and I about lost it.
I love how that the SBF Gotchi, how he was able to print that on the arm. That was really cool to see that on there.
Now, with the merch releases, if a fake is integrated, could we also add like the royalties for the artist in the merch sale?
Oh, this is something I just want to plug real quick here because it ties in with what you're saying. I've been looking at for maybe for a future drop or something, doing like an infinite object. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's you basically can print your NFT into this live display case, and it's backlit and everything, and if your NFT is animated, it'll show the animation and everything. It's very high quality, and you basically, if your collector, you can basically grant your collectors permission to print these infinite objects, and there is a royalty structure built into these. So it's pretty cool. It's an idea I've been looking at, kind of making a part of any fake gotchi drop I might want to do in the future, is have a kind of maybe a tiered system or something where the top collector or something can get the right to print an infinite object. So
I saw
So
that.
it's like a digital display, but it only displays one piece. Looks like.
that's right. It's locked in, so you can't really change it or swap it out. It's kind of soul bound to that frame. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw those guys in Miami last year at the actually at the Bitcoin 2022. They had a huge art gallery there. It's actually Bitcoin's got a lot of art going on, and a lot of it was the fake rares, but there were other stuff too. And I just remember being really inquisitive and very interested in the infinite objects, and really disappointed with whoever their sales manager was on the floor, whoever their guy was. I was like,
Oh, really?
I could not be bothered to try to sell them. I was like, damn, dude, like, you really don't want me to know about it, huh?
Oh man,
That
that's
was my
not.
impression, but, cool tech.
Yeah, I wish they would have been more receptive because it sounds like a great product when you read about it on the on.
Yeah.
Looks good.
The royalties for clothing, I think that is definitely a very cool idea, and we're already planning to do or doing royalties with the upcoming verified fakes. So really, it would just be an extension of that, and probably the same royalty structure would apply to those as well.
And that's a macro level issue in the world right now, of people just like throwing up some printed shirts on Amazon with someone's artwork. So having us lead the way in that front would have larger implications for sure.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Like the verified fakes are interesting. We could also, they don't have to only be applied to the prints. They could be applied to basically anything. So we could do them for clothing as well. So when you buy that shirt that you're getting the verified fake shirt from the verified store, not just like off Amazon or something.
And that the actual artist gets a piece.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I heard everything. I just was I wasn't speaking because I'm in and out of service. But yeah, that sounds. I think a royalty path for verified fakes is something we could potentially also set up as like a just a third party print shop where people can pick their piece, and then we give them a few items that they could be printed on, as opposed to having to do like wait for collections to drop. So that's something that I can look into as well.
And how awesome for their community that would be, that their community would know it's from that artist through verified.
Totally.
Yeah, it's really a win-win. Yeah, all this art needs to be on some t-shirts for sure.
Yeah, I
want
love that on my wall. but-
Letterman varsity jacket with the gotcha you on it. Give me one of those, like one of the white with green, looking like we're back in high school. That would be kind of dope.
Yeah.
Spring collection. Send your wish list. Spring collection's coming.
Speaking of, well, we already did the transition. Speaking of drops, but creative transition. We do have another small drop incoming. Do we want to tell them about that as well, Mr. Golden Cross?
Oh my gosh! Yes, we do.
This feels like Wheel of Fortune, where they're like, see what you can win now.
I mean, it's just such a crazy week. I feel honestly a little bit overwhelmed. I'm like, I want to talk about verified fakes more. Like, we haven't really talked about it since Miami, and just.
Yeah.
But here we are. We got another announcement. Let me see what we can pull together here.
But wait,
Visually.
there's more.
Yeah, it's like every week it's that. I'll give you guys a hint first. We'll start with a meme. You can guess where this is going. So I'm going to drop it in the text chat if you're looking at Weekly Hangout. This is where we're going. Beautiful, beautiful tree. This is called the Angel Tree. And you will be able to put it on your parcel in the Gotchi verse. But there's a catch. Yeah, I love this tree, by the way. It's the Angel Tree, Gotchi with big wings, and kind of an Alchemica-inspired Christmas tree. And the thing is, yeah, there's always a catch, Chonya. This is a new direction here. It's not craftable. I'm sorry to say, there's no recipe to craft this particular Christmas tree.
What?
I know. So here's the deal. You can't craft it, but there are other Christmas decorations in the line that you can craft. And if you craft them, you're actually going to enter yourself a chance to win a rare Christmas tree, Christmas crafted tree. So we're kind of mixing raffle with crafting for the holiday season for a little Santa drop. We'll see how it goes.
It's a craffle.
It's a raffle.
Sounds like a very FOMO Christmas to me.
So just a second here, I'll reveal the other. There's 4 more items you're going to be able to craft at the crafting table. And let me see here. They're super cool, super inspired. And we're doing something different. We're kind of treating like each individual craft as like a raffle ticket. If you're familiar with the raffles, literally every craft will be one chance to win the Angel Tree. And so, yeah, it's going to be really cool in that sense. We're not going to use VRF for it. Devs are on overload. We're running Redline all the way through the end of the year. The arena and all that jazz. But what we are going to do is do a fun 1 week from today. This is happening fast, guys. 1 week from today, we will have a raffle for those trees. And it's going to involve that simple, like, spinning the wheel, whatever, third-party software that we can use. And we'll just pull from the subgraph. Every time you craft one of these 4 items I'm about to show you, it's going to be one chance to win. So it's going to be super cool in that sense and super simple.
Yeah, buddy.
Got to take it easy on the devs at some point, right?
Hey, we're due for a short vacation here at the end of the year. Well, before that, we'll redline it.
All right, you guys ready to see your Christmas crafting? We got 4 wonderful new decorations in the spirit of the season. Happy holidays. There we go.
Ooh, what we got here?
Ooh, I like that.
Bulby.
Bulby.
Red-nosed ruffle.
Red-nosed ruffle. And I can't even pronounce the last one. Coderdan, please. Burrow.
Brrr.
Decorations go burr. Yeah. Exactly. So just keep in mind when these go live this week, it's happening fast. Every single time you craft one, it equals one, whatever you want to call it, 1 point, one chance to get one of the rare Christmas trees. And just think about going forward, like you go buy a parcel with one of those epic trees, and it's like, oh, how did you get that thing? Because there's only one way to get it.
What does the tree look like in terms of size? Like, is it quite large on the parcel, or is it smaller, like similar to these decorations?
Relative to these, I think it's like double the size. I think it's like a 4x4 instead of 2x2 or something like that. It's a rather significant little tree.
Yeah, that's
So
a good
it's not,
sign.
it's not a Charlie Brown tree. It's a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it'd be pretty big, I think.
I
You
would
guys
be
want
real
to
sad if I don't get one.
choose a PNG for it. You got the full tree there.
And we know how many there are for how many trees there are, right? I believe was it 25? I remember.
Yeah, exactly. 25 trees. That's so you think your odds. There's 1 week, 25 trees, and no matter what, you're crafting some pretty rare. They're going to be rare anyway, all of them. But the trees, the angel trees, are especially rare.
This actually brings me to a question that we're going to run into at some point. So I'll just give you guys a heads up on it now. As we go through seasons and create seasons decorations, eventually it will be nice to have templates for your parcel that you can just shoot a transaction and it'll switch templates and swap out for seasons. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that'd be like a batch, being able to save everything into a template and then click one button and it's auto updated.
Yeah, and then eventually, obviously you would take that to Gelato and set the date. So,
Yes.
midnight on Thanksgiving, you could just push a transaction and boom, it's Christmas.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
That's super cool. Obviously, gelato. I love that.
I mean, you gotta make it max complicated, right?
So which one of these do you guys like the most? Feeling Lit, Bulby, Red Nose Raffle, or Brrr? Or
I'd say the burr because I assume that it's probably dancing. Because it's just it looks like it might dance. So I'm interested to see what it's gonna do.
Is there any sound and or Christmas music for any of these as you approach?
I haven't heard it, but I would imagine there probably is, as is Neon Kong style. But I have not heard it yet. These are literally fresh off the wish list. So very, very raw alpha here. We're getting it, and we'll have these in the verse within a few days.
Yeah, that'll be my determining factor of which one plays I'll Be Home for Christmas.
A lot of Christmas music should be like open source at this point, right? So we got that going for us.
Quality question about Bulby. This isn't one of those string lights that could catch fire on the tree, right? This is high quality deco.
It's up to specs.
Okay.
I don't know, man. He looks pretty shifty.
As long as there's no sus butterfly next to him.
I mean, the red nose raffle, like I'm thinking it's red nose because it's a little lit. Because that thing looks like it's had a little too much gotchi eggnog.
So funny. They are all animated. So we've just got the stills here. When we go live, I think the 13th, that's when crafting will start. So just a few days from now, we'll have the animations and stuff. Also, just to be fair, we'll probably let them be crafted for the full, like 2 weeks is kind of like the normal crafting period for a limited edition. We'll probably do that, but just keep in mind, like, we're going to snapshot the subgraph probably a few hours before we do the the raffle, not the VRF, but the raffle. So you'll still be able to craft it for a few days after that, but holidays are holidays, so just keep that in mind. My personal favorite is the tree, for sure, but I do kind of like Bulby.
Real quick, Zerk is asking about the Christmas sweater. So just to reconfirm with everyone, we're gonna drop them. Is it gonna be in the middle of the DAO call tomorrow or end of it?
Sorry, what's that?
I was
missed that part.
talking to Golden Cross more there.
Oh.
Just we're confirming the final time for the sweater. We were thinking 9 a.m., but that's Eastern time. But that's pretty early for you guys on the West Coast.
Yeah, maybe 10 a.m. Like they're saying, like an hour into the DAO call, they could do a coffee break, and we could do it then.
Yeah, we'll get a good hour done, and then have a break. Come back.
How about whoever comes to the DAO call gets a sweater? Y'all deserve a sweater for coming up every Sunday for I don't know how many weeks. That's a big deal.
You're gonna get 95 listeners coming into the DAO call tomorrow.
For the first time ever.
People are gonna be like, "What are all these core props about? Like, what?
What's going on back here?"
What are they doing over there?
Who's Mark, and why does he keep writing sig props?" No, I'm kidding. It's
Yeah, man. Any of you all in here who haven't been coming to the DAO meetings, come hang out with us. It's a good time.
It's getting real spicy. That side of things is hard for me to keep up with. And, like, I want to get a synopsis, but, like, I also want to let the wounds heal before I ask what's going on, you know?
Swords get drawn sometimes, it's true. But for the most part, it's pretty good.
So I can ask some questions, or should I wait?
Oh, go ahead and ask, you know. You can always
So, like, would it be possible for Yannick to relaunch that proposal with -2 kinship instead of -4? I think that's the only reason it failed, and it's just been all this drama. It's like, can we reboot it with -2 instead of -4? I think we can get that through.
I really like his proposal. I've actually had some really cool ideas around burning kinship for different things. Like maybe there's a wearable you have to craft in the future. You have to burn like 20 kinship at the forge, you know, in addition to everything else to craft this like special limited edition thing. Like there's so many different things we can do with kinship to make it like really fun and gamified. I think it's the right time to start thinking about it. And I think he's on the right track with that. Even if it wasn't, you know, even if we weren't down with the -4 and, you know, like you say, maybe -2 or even -1 would be somewhere to start, you know.
Yeah, and we can adjust that lever. I don't know like what in that transition made him like exodus and start making cryptic tweets about other stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, people get upset, but you know, I like the idea. I don't think it's the last time we'll talk about it, and I don't think it's the last time we'll see a core prop or a sig prop about it. So, you know, we should keep thinking about kinship and what we can do with it. If people have like really interesting ideas around it, we should discuss it and you know, get it up there on Snapshot.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with like using it to spawn NPCs in the Gotchiverse. I don't know. To me, that sounds like something.
Well, I guess I could ask Coder Dad and Jesse, you know, when you were designing the Aavegotchi and you implemented the kinship, you know, there's XP, but there's also kinship. What was your initial kind of idea of how you could see kinship being used, you know, in live gameplay, like the Gotchiverse, for example?
I mean, I'm going to be honest, when we first, like back in 2020, with the idea of actually burning kinship and using it for something, probably really wasn't in our minds. It was more just like, oh, this is like a fun Tamagotchi type interaction. Later, when we start thinking more about, what's the possible utility, but I think even still, it's pretty early in that thought process.
The earliest one was just rarity farming, right? Like we didn't know how far rarity farming could go, and it's from a financial standpoint significant. So we just wanted to build a better crypto pet, and so proof of attention to your crypto pet, that's what kinship is. And yeah, we saw leaderboards and being able to farm some ghosts from actually paying attention to your Aavegotchi. Like proof of doing that should get you more ghosts, more voting power.
That makes sense. Yeah, interesting. I was actually reading about Tamagotchi the other day, just kind of trying to look back at the wiki there and see where we're at and things that we could maybe adopt from that little Tamagotchi game. And one of the interesting things I read was the Tamagotchi. You would have to train it. Like there was like little things you could do with it, but different types of training. And if you didn't do the training, you would the Tamagotchi would essentially lose kinship. It would get sick. And so what we could do alternatively is maybe you're training your Gotchi, and when you're training your Gotchi, like battling in the arena, you could maybe earn kinship when you achieve certain milestones. But let's say you don't go to the arena for like 500,000 blocks or like 1,000,000 blocks, your Gotchi doesn't go to the arena. It's not getting trained. Maybe it starts losing kinship if your Gotchi's not going to the arena. And occasionally, even if it's very occasionally getting one battle in, I think it'd be interesting because now you're forced to kind of rent your Gotchi out every now and then. In addition to the auto petting, you also got to make sure that every now and then it's being rented out and taken out into the arena and actually getting some exercise. Because if it's not getting exercise, it's going to lose kinship, right? I think, in my opinion, that kind of makes sense. Maybe you lose, like, let's say you don't go to the arena for like 500,000 blocks, your Gotchi will lose like 20 kinship. Like there's like a milestone you have to reach, but then the penalty is not worth reaching that point. You're better off just renting your Gotchi out, get its one battle out of the way, and then now you're good. Your Gotchi's been trained. You've got its exercise.
Yeah, it's mixing like on chain and off chain is always, it's literally like oil and water. But one way would be just battling in the arena or doing stuff in the Gotchiverse. Like there's a chance of dropping a potion basically, and that potion you could then chug it and get some kinship from that. That would probably be the simplest solution, although even that's not super simple, but it would be possible, rather than just like doling out kinship directly from the Gotchiverse. But there's definitely some cool things we can do with kinship and even XP in the Gotchiverse and in general in games. Like the Gotchiverse doesn't need to be the only game that can have those privileges to give out XP and kinship.
Yeah, for a while there, we were earning XP through arcade games that people had developed. That was kind of cool. We were actually playing Gotchi Winners last night, and I don't know if Gotchinomics is in here if you want to speak on that, but it was great.
Did anyone stream that? I'd love to watch that.
Yeah, we did stream that. I was playing with Jared actually from Aavegotchi Stats. We were playing around there and seeing how deep we could go, how many blocks we could mine. And it was interesting. It was fun. Really engaging and didn't feel like a mini game. It felt like its own standalone game. So it was awesome. I can actually drop the link. I think he finally got his servers and everything working. So let me see if I can find the.
How many people can play at once?
I think 4 or 5. It's like a decent amount. Gotchi Miners. Oh, and the music, the soundtracks that they picked out for it are they're fire. Just great like gameplay music. Let's see, Gotchinomics. Well, they've been working on it for a while, so. They're having some infra issues earlier with the servers. They're able to figure that out now. So, oh yeah, perfect. Gotchinomics. There you go.
Oh, this is awesome. I mean, this is literally from the game jam all the way to now. This has been in production. This is a long dev period. I'm super excited to see what you guys have been working on.
Yeah, I love it. There's different aspects to it, and there's some depth to the gameplay. So it took me a little bit of it wasn't a huge learning curve, but once you figure out your own system for mining, and you figure out the stats, it's really fun. They got a leaderboard you can check out. Goes by your score, and then got two servers right now. They got Western Europe and North America. So I'm sure they'll be adding probably more in the future.
Nice. They got the lobby. So when you click ready, that means you're ready to join a game, and you're just waiting for someone else to join.
Yeah, there's like a pooling period, I guess, if
Nice.
anybody else joins. But then once that clock runs out, even if you're just one player, it'll drop you into the game. So.
Super.
Oh yes, Mike Callum, thanks for the reminder. GMI, we're looking to do a end of year celebration video. So I did one of these last year, and you guys liked it. So let's just, if you want to head over to the GMI forum in our Discord, we have a end of year Gotchi Gang celebration video thread. And we just want you all to dump any special moments. Could be memes, could be clips from gameplay, Gotchiverse releases, personal highlights of Gotchi Gang. We want everything in there, and we're gonna stitch that all together and make a really cool video for the end of the year, for kind of celebrate the end of the year. So, kind of hoping that people will be able to dump some stuff in there over the next week or two. And we'll start getting that together for you guys. One more announcement I have from GMI. The Secret Santa is live. It's going to be, we got a tally form here. I'm going to actually drop the tweet. But we've decided to do a Secret Santa this year. Is McCallum up here? Do you want to explain this? You do a lot better of a job of explaining it than I do, but I can.
You shoot me out, man. Yeah. It's like you never done one of this style. So yeah, it's just kind of.
I always mess it up, man. I think
That's all right. We have there's a tally form out right now. That's what we want to do. Is if you want to participate, you fill out the tally form, and that's how we'll create our bank of participants. And so as soon as you submit and you're in, then you can start brainstorming about what you want to make. But basically, we're going to make some community-created NFTs here, some artwork. And so we're not looking to exchange existing assets or gifts. So it's not like a wearable swap. It's not a fake Gotchi swap. These are going to be new pieces specifically for this event. And so if you'll sign up as a participant, you'll get in there. We're going to do a drawing, I think, in a week from now or so to do the matchups. And so at that time, we'll let you know who you are specifically going to be gifting your work piece to. And then a week after that, we'll do a drawing, or not a drawing, but our streaming event, and share and do some reveals and things like that as well.
Yeah, and that's going to tie in with another event that Dr. Wagme, another project Dr. Wagme has been working on, a really cool project called the Aavegotchi Hall of Fame. And it's going to basically showcase some of the best, the biggest community builders. Right now, there are nominations going out for people who have contributed significantly that are deserving of it's basically going to be a roadside humble parcel in Dow Square with a custom fake Gotchi card that will be revealed live to the nominees. So kind of to celebrate all the great work that's been done this last year with, so many key players in our little ecosystem here, and making sure people get recognized for that. And then, yeah, that'll tie in with the Secret Santa. Senna, and just a good old time, just like how GMI has done it in the past. So maybe we could get some spillover or Alchemica, or that would be cool. But ultimately, it'd just be a celebration of all the great things that we've done this last year.
That's amazing. You guys are like, it made me cry or something. That's cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I think we worked really. I think everyone in here has worked really hard this year. So it's really hard to see that when you're in the trenches.
And let's not undersell it either, because we're gonna work real hard and get our coordination, ramped up so we can execute this, post Saturday hangout like we typically did with the summits in the past. But truly, yeah, Dr. Wagme, major shout out, one of the core community pillars, just spoke really well last night at the GMI call about his motivations on an individual level of why he wants this, and it really clicked for all of us to see the obvious benefit for us to start this habit now, and the joy of looking forward to being able to look at next year's large scale review and add next year's warriors to the Hall of Fame, and continue to build out our recognition of the community involvement, because that's what keeps everything so fun over here, is the fact that we've got almost close to 100 folks still hanging out with us on a Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing we should always remind ourselves is Gotchi Gang, no matter how contentious things get, or whatever we're working on, how intense things get, we should always continue to maintain respect and also show gratitude for all the work that we're doing, because a lot of it's done on our own will. So I think we should just show gratitude for exactly, as a family, Gotchi Gang, so this is our small way of appreciating that, for showing gratitude.
I just shared a tweet I saw last week to that effect, and it's like, we're all in the same, like, it's such a niche community for us to argue. Is hilarious.
Yeah, we're still in a small pond. I think we should be doing as much as we can to work with each other at this point. Sticking around in these other games that a lot of us have played, where you do have formation of guilds and rivalries that happen later in gameplay. Those things are going to happen eventually, when the game gets big enough and there's territories to be contested over. And, Gotchi Mafia took over half of Porto Mage's land in the grid last night. Those could be conversations to be had, and maybe things could get, swords will get drawn. But those are, that's like later gameplay stuff when everything's established. Like, I don't think there's any need for that right now, because it wouldn't be entertaining at this point. It would just be like, why are we doing this? We're just trying to build a game here. But, eventually, I think the competition could be really interesting.
Hey guys, real quick interjection. We got Edward from GBM team here on the call, just to come up and say hi. Masterminds of the GBM auction.
GM.
How you going?
Hey, pretty good, sir. Have you guys checked out the auction site yet? These audio a little bit off.
Oh. No, can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I have been on it, of course, since the first day.
Nice.
As soon as it was and as soon as it was live, some fake ouchies.
Cool. Yeah, it's going really well. Do you guys have any insights, or have you been following any figures that you'd love to drop, or is this more just like?
Yeah, actually, we got the subgraph to start looking at the data, and so hopefully next week we can start sharing some good data, and we can then just refresh that data once in a while once we want to get stuff, and maybe longer term have just this information live. You could have like a page where you can see how many auctions are live right now, what's the average bids. Like, maybe we could have like some live data that anyone can see somewhere. So
yeah,
we're looking into that.
Yeah, I really want to put that on the overview page, is where I'm thinking that's going to go. Like right at the front. It'd be cool to have like a little preview.
Yeah, that could be great. And yeah, I hope everybody has been enjoying getting their own GBM. So if anybody has any feedback or on this or any questions, like don't hesitate to write this here. We can discuss. And
Thanks
yeah,
for all the,
Aavegotchi,
thanks for all the ghosts. Appreciate that.
and yeah, I've been thinking for a while. When would be the day where there would be a GBM auction? At any hour of the day. And Aavegotchi did it. This is it. There are several projects that are currently implementing GBM for their own marketplace as well. But Aavegotchi did it first, as with many things.
Yeah, we took us a little bit longer. We were hoping to have it even earlier, but it's finally here, and it's beautiful.
Yes. Degen mode. Oh, you want more than higher?
Super degen mode.
I'm loving the GBMs. The one thing I would say, can you guys enable somewhere between 1 day and 1 hour, like say a 4 or 12-hour GBM?
Right. Yeah, probably. Like 4 hours, six hours.
Yeah, something just longer than 1 hour, because I want to be able to like promote it a little bit. Also, like say if I do something, if an artist is doing a one-on-one, but they want to have like kind of a FOMO hype kind of based auction, 1 hour is very hypey, but might be too short, where 1 day is a little too long.
Yeah, the bidding goes quickly, so even if it's only a few hours, you're definitely gonna have time to put the bids in, and people will be ready for sure. Yeah, it's true. I don't see that many low. I don't see low auctions. People are not
Yeah, I
going
don't
for
see
the low.
any. I don't think anyone's
Maybe
using low.
Yeah, but again, maybe it depends on the prices. If it's a very expensive asset and someone is like kind of new to GBM, maybe they're gonna want to try the low. So I guess we'll see. If no one is using that preset at all, then we can change that and maybe add a bit more degen one instead.
Yeah. What do you think? We go 15%? We going straight up to 25%?
I remember that when we did the Hunt 2, there were some degen presets, and I think it was like 30%.
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, something like 25 or 30%. Oh, was it really 30? Oh
I
god.
think it was 30%. Man,
Yeah, those bids got crazy.
yes. And do you know what would be the next assets that will be using GBM after
So the alpha leak. We are currently working on some 1155s. A little bit more because we figured that the wearables. There are some wearables that are ready for some price discovery that they haven't really had. So it seems like it's a good choice, a good chance to get some price discovery via the GBM auction for some mythicals or even godlikes.
Nice. Will you be able
Are
to
we
list like
able? Here's the request. Are we able to track how much Ghost is locked in auction contracts?
Yeah. I mean, the contract is live on Polygon. You could just go to it. I have to find the address for it. You could just go to that contract and check the Ghost balance of it.
I would say that's an interesting metric to integrate into the site for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that can be cool.
It's basically all the bids in minus all the bids and incentives out. Like, okay, this is what's locked. Do you want the actual money that's locked in, or do you want just the sum of all of the standing bids?
The money, like actually, like not able to be dumped on the market if that makes any more sense.
Okay, so then it's the sum of the selling bid minus the incentives that have been distributed for any auction that's still currently live, I guess.
Yeah, and like any like extended contracts too, because eventually as all this gets spun up, there's going to be a lot of ghosts locked and people bidding on stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. The another area I'm interested in is like the canceled auctions. How many auctions have actually been canceled? I know I've seen a few where people they're kind of like wondering like what happened, and the auction seller is actually paying out the incentive. It's pretty interesting to watch that. That's real price discovery because there is no reserve price.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the equivalent of reserve price, but that works on chain, right? Because of course, if you put a reserve price in advance, then it's on chain and people can read it. And so yeah, that was basically this thinking of like the seller can cancel the auction at the end was like the replacement of what the reserve price would be on the blockchain. And what's pretty cool is that as a seller, I only need to decide what my reserve price is in my head at the end. Because the moment when the auction ends, it's like take it or leave it. As a seller, I can take the offer and okay, accept or not. Yeah, of course, we'll definitely give that that data as well. Let's see, and then across assets and prices, we can see how people behave with their cancelled auctions. Sure, very interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
I will say as a collector, because I've noticed that I've put in bids on pieces and then I guess they've gotten canceled. At first, I couldn't tell because the revenue showed, but the auction was gone. It is a little demoralizing because it's like I wanted that piece, and it forces me to lock up ghosts that I could otherwise use in other auctions. So like there is a part of me that would I like that kind of at the end they have to decide, but there would be like a reserve would be nice so I can make better choices with the limited ghosts I have. Oh damn! I just got outbid.
Yeah, bid higher. As Faye says, your bid's too low, bro.
You did just to confirm, right? In this implementation, you get your incentive if the seller cancels and you're the winner of the auction, right? You get the incentive like if you had been outbid, right?
Yeah, for sure. You're still getting paid. So you're not really locking up Ghost. I mean, the Ghost is still being put to use.
Well, if you're thinking about it as getting paid, yeah, but I'm actually trying to collect the piece, So it's like I'm not.
I guess I guess the problem in that case, is that maybe no one else outbid you on it because you actually were the person that wanted that item the most, and somehow even that the price that you put for that there was not enough for the seller. Here, there's not, it's basically the seller being like, sorry, that's not enough. Try again, which I mean, maybe the seller could bid on it themselves, be like, hey, sorry, that's not enough. You can try again.
I do have to say, for the GBM method, for me, it can be a little bit like frustrating because I actually want the piece, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to compete against everyone to get it. But at the end of the day, I could just do a large bid and probably not get outbid. So it's just fascinating to see it all happening in real time. I'm a bit lazy. I want to just go on the bazaar and buy it. But if it's on the bazaar, I might not get it because someone's going to snap it up real quick. So it really is the perfect NFT distribution method, I think. Any news on my NFT?
We're literally in the process of like rolling out the beta. I mean, we basically kind of already in beta, but some of the core features are not robust enough. So we're not saying to people like, go crazy and go and list all your NFTs because we just want to make sure it's robust enough. Make sure the marketplace is perfect before we send it to people, basically, or good enough so that we feel good with doing that.
Well, you got plenty of beta testers right here, sir, when you guys are ready.
Yes, probably I will then. I will mention it then in Aavegotchi for sure. And yeah, otherwise it was really cool actually what we did last month. You know, the vending machine. And
Yeah.
you know, there were a few. It was this NFT vending machine, and there was some Gotchi assets in there. And let you know, by the way, how many of them, if they've all been claimed in the machine or not. We've just extended a bit the time that people have to claim them. So we want to wait until the claiming period is over, so we know the actual numbers.
Very cool. Yeah, I played with the beta a little bit, but I didn't get too far. But yeah, super. Definitely looking forward to having that.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know when it's ready. So hold your horses for now. And I'll go on everything. We'll go on everything. Look at the data, and when we have some good data and insights about the first few weeks of the bazaar with the fake Gotchis and GBM, we'll publish that. And if people really want a higher incentive mode instead of the low one, you can choose to. We can look into that.
Yeah, we might. I think we need to make a custom preset for that. Like if we wanted to go to like 25%, we need some custom numbers for that. We can do that. It's super quick for us to input that. We just need the numbers. We can try it out and see how it works. See how it goes.
Yeah, we can provide you. We'll provide you numbers for that then. I would beat it again. All right.
It's
well,
so fun. Thank you guys so much for the amazing tech. And yeah, see you in the auction house.
Yeah, for sure, guys. And yeah, have a great weekend, and talk to you very soon then.
Cool. You too, sir.
All right. Bye, guys.
Very cool. Lots of alpha there. Looking forward to that vending machine and more GBM. That'll be awesome.
I'm curious, what do you guys think we still need on the auction house site? This is kind of the first of many ships in the V2 that we have coming. There's actually a ton of code that is written already in this website. It's not deployed yet because we want to make sure that the auction house is perfect before we start adding more features to V2. But I'm curious, what do you guys think we still need? We need I think we do have an activity page. It's not live yet, but to be able to see the bids as they come in, or I'm curious what kind of features you would like to have on the auction house.
It would be cool to have a short-term bids display. So if I wanted to run a quick auction, maybe less than an hour, so anything less than an hour would be up on kind of a pop-out kind of page where you would have quick auctions, kind of live auctions. You know what I mean? That kind of like what Soju's doing right now is he's kind of live auctioning off a piece. It's only going to be an hour max. So maybe we can even do 20-minute auctions where it's actually someone is actually kind of I don't know, hosting an auction. You know what I mean? And then also to see the GBM and the Gotchiverse is going to be interesting. So I can actually have an auction on my parcel and invite observers. I can invite everybody to come to my parcel, and we can do a live 20-minute auction. Let's run it up. You just click on the NFT display and you place your bid. I don't know if that would be a heavy lift or not, but
yeah, we definitely need that Gotchiverse integration. I don't think we'll have that before the end of the year, but it's definitely going to be on the roadmap.
Yeah, I would love to be able to see more historical data on the GBM auctions, because I'll be kind of gliding through the auctions, just trying to remember, the last few days of prices to kind of get an idea of where the floors have been previously.
Real quick,
How about Aavegotchi?
I was just gonna say real quick, we are at the GMI parcel. I do have a bounce gate up there, so if you want to head over to the D12 bounce gate, I think it says Parade Finale or Last Stop or something like that, and it has these purple flames. So if you want to come through that bounce gate, let's all kind of accumulate here, and let's kick off the last like little Alchemica explosion here. I think we have 3, 4, maybe 5 parcels to pop, so we'll try and do them all simultaneously and get a nice spillover going here.
I just saw this one, Lightbeam.lens mushroom quest. What on earth is that? Anyone have an idea? I see a bunch of new events created. They're all ending in like an hour. Looks like they're all Orium network. That's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, the Orium Network does a scholarship parade. Usually I do my level 1s with them, but I just haven't had the time to set up the bounce gates. But yeah, they basically do a parade where they go several stops.
Cool. The idea I had today, I think it was a shower idea, was actually being able to do like a promoted auction where you could spend maybe glitter or something, maybe ghosts, I don't know, spend something, kind of like we do with the parcel bounce gates, and like to get your auction promoted and make sure it's at the top of the list. What do you guys think of that idea?
I like that. I would also love to see a like maybe a page for the seller, like a profile. Say like Bin Laden has its own profile where you can go. Maybe there's a video where he's pitching, talking about his art, his process, stuff like that. Kind of like start fleshing out the social aspect of what we're doing here.
Yeah. So we are one of the big ships of V2 is the public profile. That's going to basically allow you to show all your, like, it'll basically index all your assets that you have. Oh, I see an observer here. Interesting. First time I've actually seen an observer in the wild. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I got distracted there. But yeah, so the public profile is something that we're definitely going to be working more on. And currently it's just showing the different assets that you have, but definitely we could start adding some more features to that. That's one of my most important features, I think, of V2 is the social part. Like being able to share. Are you referring
to like links to, like, you can add a link to your Twitter and stuff, or?
Yeah. So basically having like an Aavegotchi profile, because right now if you go to let me see here. It's if you go to your page, so this is like my page. Right now it's just very, very minimal. We don't have a lot of stuff. There's a lot of code that's actually written, but just not deployed yet because we're still working on it. But this kind of shows all my different assets that I have. So that we'll have like a user overview section where the user can put a bunch of stuff like their profile picture and the normal kind of socials that you would expect. So that's going to be kind of cool because I want to be able to snoop on people and be like checking out what kind of assets they have, and like you said, like maybe be able to see what kind of auctions they've done and all sorts of interesting on-chain data about that address.
Yeah, I see your two Z-bot pieces. What a whale!
I need more fakes. I haven't had a lot of time to buy them recently, but I'm gonna have to do some sweeping soon.
I got a cool one coming out in about exactly a week from now.
For just a cool feature, actually, I don't know if it'd be used very much, but I just thought of it now. And Cody Dan said he doesn't have time to buy the pieces, but he'd love to own many of them. Fake Rares, they do a subscriber account, and it might not work for us because we don't do our fake gotchis in the series. We kind of do them just as a free run thing. But basically, you can claim a subscriber account for one series, and you basically load up the account with a bunch of Bitcoin, and they just buy one of every fake that drops for that series. So you end up just buying the whole series, but you just kind of preload your account, and then it just automatically buys one of every drop.
Yeah, that's cool. That would be. But how? I guess because we're doing bidding, how would that work? I guess something.
Yeah, bidding is a little tricky. You'd have to set like a max reserve amount or something that you wouldn't want to go over, I guess.
It'd be cool if like this would be more of an off-chain thing, but like for lazy whale don't want to participate in the bidding or don't want to like be checking the bazaar all the time. I guess this would be more like a personal cultivation like relationship you'd have to do, but to basically be able to like get one of each artist piece that they put out, and just like being able to know that you're going to get it. But probably would just be an off-chain thing that you would handle. I'd be kind of in that category. Sometimes I don't have to like go and do a bunch of outbidding. I just want to sweep the floor.
Gotta love a freshly swept floor.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of clean floor. Is there any chance to fix the thumbnail of my fake gotchi? Unfortunately, no. Everything is on Arweave, and we're not really dealing or allowing anyone to change the metadata once it's already there, because it's supposed to be permanent. So definitely, when you guys are uploading, try to make sure you get it right, and make sure you triple check everything. Spelling errors, thumbnails, video, all that. Definitely. I think in the first, who was it? In like the first day that fake gotchis were live, they were up like making one at 3 a.m. Like submitted something wrong. Don't be that guy. Just like take your time with it. I don't remember who that was.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I was sweating profusely when I launched that piece. I actually had my girlfriend hit the confirm button.
If there's anything we can do to make that better for you guys, also like definitely drop some suggestions. The minting process, we want to make sure we did fix a couple things that were kind of causing some errors. So a couple of those cards were refunded. But in general, like if there's anything you guys think that would be a good UX improvement on the minting page.
I think a preview window would be kind of cool, where you could actually look and see what the piece would look like in different types of displays, in the 3 different types of NFT displays. Before you officially upload your work, you could just, kind of fit them in there, or the UI would show you in the 3 pieces what your piece would look like in each, and then just have a final confirmation, right?
Yeah, I saw where same like he made that sushi piece, and when you put it on the parcel, it almost looks like you could have a gotchi like standing at the bar. So I thought that was an interesting element of like, oh, you can stand on that and it actually looks like you're in a bar, a sushi bar.
Cool. This has been a great hangout, friends. There's been a lot of alpha dropped, a lot of good discussion. We have 2 minutes left here. Spill over.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to top this week, next week for sure.
Yeah, I was actually real quick just going to plug Pawn Protocol. We've seen a few loans go out on Pawn now, and there's a couple here out there. Reasonable loans to look at for gotchis. It's really cool to see them being used for something else here. And I saw a Beeple piece actually go up there just recently for collateral for a loan, and it gave me an idea. What if we get some fake gotchis up on Pawn here? I think it'd be really interesting to see some art-based loans, because I think you might actually, as the borrower, be able to display the art. I'm talking to the Pawn team right now, but we could maybe have some cool thing on Pawn for, if you're going to be putting up your art, I guess the agreement there would be you're okay, or the person putting up the collateral or the lender is okay taking on the art, if the lender doesn't pay. But it'd be interesting for loans. So just wanted to plug that real quick. One more thing, I got the Miro board for tomorrow's DAO meeting. It's not complete yet, but this is the gist of kind of what we'll be going through tomorrow. In addition to discussion around just funding projects from the DAO in general, and the DTF review coming up with a new budget request, we should just have a conversation around that, and maybe even touch on some of the DAO lead stuff that we were talking about a few months ago. So yeah, just gonna tie everything in together there. It'll be a good conversation, and have a look at that Miro board if you want to just get a taste of what we're discussing tomorrow.
Just gotta say again, this is the first time I've seen observers in actually in the wild. Anyone have a backstory on who these friends are on the GMI parcel? Super cool to see. I see three observers. You can hear you talking about me, Dan. Yeah, that's you. Don't worry about you. You guys are just looking.
Maybe it's someone's spouse just sneaking into the Gotchiverse, seeing what they're up to, being like,
Yeah.
what is he doing on Saturday mornings, every morning? I need to see what's up. What are all these like colorful little things falling everywhere? Everyone's going crazy picking them up. What's going on? Oh yeah, Jesse, I totally agree. Once we get that in-game exclusions, I see that being a big use case for observers. We get some ETH maxis in here, get some fake rare guys in here. We're all bidding on a piece. It's going to be a really unique experience. Well, that's all I got for today. Y'all up here, you guys got any announcements for this week or tomorrow that you might want to get out there?
No, we pretty much got it all out there. And want to drop a little link. If you guys notice on the auction.aavegotchi.com, added a little animation today. Just kind of makes it. If you guys haven't gone to the homepage and then click on the auction, kind of has a little in-out animation. Always fun. We're shipping a lot of updates to the auction.aavegotchi.com. So over time, that site is going to be slowly becoming the new Aavegotchi V2. So definitely stay tuned for lots of updates on that site.
Yeah, awesome. The fake Gotchi stuff is looking good. Just this kickoff the last 2 months has been great, and love the direction it's going. So
yep,
we'll keep collecting these fake Gotchis.
My friends, thank you so much, and everyone have a lovely Saturday and Sunday. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you guys.
Later,
Take it
y'all.
easy, friends.
Peace.
Awesome.
Out.
See y'all at the DAO call.